It's a huge understatement to say that Dead by Daylight suffers from a lot of balancing struggles, whether it's perks or killer powers or survivor items to maps. There's a lot of factors to consider when making any changes in this game, because even the smallest change, like a number change of some kind, can have a huge impact to the overall balance of the game. The recent palette density changes and the whiplash that's been happening with all of that is a good example of a lot of the balancing struggles that have been happening. However, with the 9.3 patch, there was one particular change that has kind of flown under the radar. It was a change made to the Styptic Agent add-on. And this add-on change was, in my opinion, one of the worst changes that was made in this patch. So prior to the 9.3 patch, the Styptic Agent add-on basically worked as a free 5-second endurance, where if you have this add-on applied to your medkit, you can use the secondary effect function to deplete your medkit instantly and get 5 seconds of endurance. Now back in the day, this add-on used to be a lot stronger. It used to give you a full instant heal in a split second. All you had to do was use that secondary action button and you got a full instant heal in a split second. So truthfully, I don't know why this add-on was changed because it was honestly in a fairly good spot. At most, it gave you 5 seconds of endurance that you could try and use in some sort of a protection hit against the killer, but now it gives you a 15% increase in the efficiency when healing yourself, and that's it. That is the only effect that this add-on has. If you have this equipped to your medkit, you have an increased efficiency of 15% whenever you heal yourself. So basically that means you save a little bit more of your medkit every time you heal yourself with it. Now this may sound like a decent change at first glance because you may think to yourself, oh, well if you heal yourself with a medkit with this add-on equipped, you save more of your medkit, so it sounds like a great alternative to the charge add-ons that exist right now. Just like the gel dressings and the bandage add-ons, it just seems like maybe a slightly better version of all that. But that's exactly the problem. This add-on is considered a very rare or purple add-on, but in actuality, it functions more like a common or uncommon tier add-on, because the benefit this add-on gives you is really nothing. How do we know this? Well, it's very simple. If you do a test with a medkit and first try a medkit with the gel dressings add-on and the gauze roll add-on, this allows you to heal yourself 2 times. But then if you swap the gauze roll add-on for the Styptic Agent, you end up only being able to heal yourself 1 time in full. You can almost heal yourself a second time, but you end up coming up just a little bit short. So what does this mean exactly? The Styptic Agent is a lower version of the charge add-ons, and it only works when you heal yourself. So the benefit is just totally not worth it. It's outclassed by the gauze roll and even arguably the bandage add-on as well. But specifically the gauze roll. I think the new version of the Styptic Agent add-on is only good if you ever loot a medkit from a chest with Ace in the Hole and Streetwise attached, and then assuming you get both that add-on and at least one of the other charge add-ons, you might possibly get some more usage out of it because the more charges you have for the medkit, because Streetwise gives you more charges, then you might be able to get more efficiency from the medkit when healing yourself. But really, if you crunch the numbers, it doesn't even work out that well. It doesn't give you any more benefit than you would when you have a gauze roll and a bandage add-on looted from a chest. So with all of this information in mind, I've remained very perplexed as to why this add-on change went through the PTB and was pushed to live still, because this add-on change just flat out sucks. There's no point to ever use this add-on because it's easily outclassed by any of the other charge add-ons below it. There's no point to ever use this add-on because it only works when you heal yourself, but even then it doesn't give you any more benefit than one of the lower tier add-ons for charges. So why would you ever use this add-on when you can just use one of the other charge add-ons, stack those together, and then have more efficiency for healing other people as well as yourself? And even though I'm still a bit perplexed on why this change was never changed from the PTB, it got me thinking, and I ended up concluding with this. This add-on change is a perfect example of what's been going wrong with balancing lately. This add-on change highlights a very specific struggle that's been happening in recent years, where the developers seem to approach balance changes in the strangest way. And I believe this further exemplifies a struggle with just understanding a lot of the basic core mechanics of the game, aka understanding the fundamentals and using the understanding of those fundamentals to then balance the game. because I can't even think of a good reason as to why the Styptic add-on change went through without even considering the other charge add-ons that currently exist. There is zero reason why a purple tier add-on should be outclassed by any of the lower tiers. It just makes absolutely no fucking sense. And to me, this shows a true lack of understanding the fundamentals when it comes to at least some aspects of the game. And at the very minimum, it's a huge oversight and was not clearly well thought out when making this change. And what's funny is at least the syringe got a change that was unique and something different. But this add-on just got a weird rework that is actually worse than the other add-ons that are below it in tier. So in other words, this add-on change is a reflection of what's going wrong behind the scenes, because there is no way this add-on change should have went through to a PTB and then still made it to live, because it just makes this add-on totally worthless. And I know this isn't the first time that there's been weird changes like this, especially to add-ons, but I think this specific change just feels totally outlandish, because I don't even know what they were trying to go for with this change. There's nothing that is truly beneficial about this add-on. You're better off using any of the lower tier charge add-ons. I just personally cannot understand why this change went through the way it did. But again, that's exactly why I say it perfectly exemplifies what's been going wrong lately with a lot of the balancing changes. There's clearly a lack of understanding in some of the fundamentals of the game, because these changes should not be going through like this when they make no sense. Hopefully things will improve in the future, but I really feel like changes like this exemplify stuff that's going wrong, and it just kind of contradicts the devs showing that they're listening, because if they were listening, I feel like this add-on change would have happened in a different way, and it would have been changed from the PTB. But I digress. That's all I have for now. Thanks for watching.